Every thriving garden you've ever seen has one secret in common: amazing compost. Today we're meeting world-renowned expert Charles Dowding, who's been growing organically for more than 40 years. He makes tons of compost to grow the most vibrant vegetables you've ever seen. Today we're going to learn how Charles makes compost step by step and how you can replicate it at home no matter the size of your garden. We'll be looking at what to add to the compost heap, exploring 5 different ways to compost, discussing the best ways to use mature compost and the simple tricks Charles uses to speed his compost along. So Charles, the $1,000,000 question, what makes cracking compost?
Wow, how long have you got? So you want a nice balance of ingredients. My proportions I'd recommend is 3/4 green, 1/4 brown. Green is the fresh leaves, including grass, including weeds, disease leaves,
Brilliant.
everything. And the brown is anything woody.
I'm going to be picking your brains about that shortly. But where's the best place to site a compost bin? If you're starting a new compost bin or setup, this is what a lot of people will be familiar with, these sort of Dalek style bins. Do they need to be in the sun, or they're basking in the sun here, or will shade do?
Either. I would say that's one of the least important considerations.
Okay.
Because it works whether you've got, even in the shade, you know, the heat in a compost heap comes from the green ingredients in sufficient volume.
Okay.
Basically.
Brilliant. And these are located on the ground, but people with a small courtyard or something, they can be placed on hard surfaces and the worms will find their way in. Is that?
Yeah, the worms find them anywhere.
They just,
but hard surfaces do work. If you are on a hard surface, though, just make sure it's slightly sloping so that you don't want a stagnating water at the bottom building up.
Keep it well drained. Brilliant. Charles, can we have a look inside then? What's cooking?
Oh, yeah. It's not really cooking because you can see that I put a thermometer in, the temperature. It's reading 21.
Okay, it's quite a balmy, it's quite a pleasant temperature, but maybe not
it's
the
not
quickest
much more than that.
for
But what I find with these Daleks or conical bins is they're not enough volume to get really hot.
Okay.
Unless you add a lot of green all in one go, and it doesn't really last. So it's not about heat. You know, you can make great compost without heat. That's a really important understanding, because otherwise people feel that they're failing sometimes if they haven't got it hot. But
yes, I guess there's so much sort of heat being lost out the side because of the
and
perimeter
just
there.
not enough volume basically. You need it if the volume gives you a load of bacteria whose metabolic action creates heat.
Yeah.
And you need billions. So this is the brown that we're using, and that's old wood chip, about a year old.
Great. So do you get this in and then stack it somewhere for a year? Yeah.
Exactly. And also we put it through a 12mm half-inch sieve.
Okay.
Because that means we're not putting big bits of wood in. You know, I don't want logs in here.
No, quite.
I just want bits of wood and sort of brown already, because then it'll decompose more quickly. So this device is brilliant because it can't really break because it's one piece of metal.
Yeah.
You screw it down, but I think I might be going to struggle to pull it up.
Yes, it feels like there's a lot of resistance
give you
there.
Give you
give it a go,
yeah.
I think we're going to, there we are.
Yeah,
oh, look at that,
yeah,
that's coming along quite, look at those lovely red wrigglers there, that's lovely. It's like opening a fine wine with this, isn't it? And
about 5 months old probably at the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't done it a lot. I tend to do it more for demo then because I'm teaching here a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you did this like 2 or 3 times, and you know, it's both mixing and aerating.
Yeah, absolutely. This looks a bit more mature, Charles. How old is this stuff here? This has obviously been maturing for a wee while.
Yeah, this is a year old actually.
Is it? Yeah.
It started in this bin, and we lifted the side off, or Adam did to be precise, and then forked the contents into here.
So you're getting that sort of secondary aeration, as it were.
You don't have to do that, but if you do, I'll just quickly show you. You know, we've got it. What we have in here is just beautiful, and you could sieve a compost like this. Actually, it's so fine. It's not even.
It's not even getting a purchase.
Yeah.
That's great. I'll go in and get my hands in. There we are. There we are. I've got some finer stuff at the bottom.
And if you put that through a 4 or 5mm sieve, you've got potting mix.
So you can use that for potting mix, and then any sort of bits behind you can sort of throw on the beds.
It's perfect mulch.
It's perfect, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I've really come to appreciate that. I found a potting mix can be really livened up with a bit of
got all that beneficial life in it that you're adding.
Yeah. The enzymes from the worm cast and all of that. Yeah, the worms have been in here and done their job, and then if you don't see worms, it could be that they've left.
Moved on because they've done all they can.
They're only there for a certain time. And generally, you can use these doors, but I don't find them really fit for purpose. So we tend to lift these
sort of easier, isn't it, just to see what you're working with rather than grappling around the bottom.
Yeah.
So you've got some nice compost up here, I hear, Charles. Yes. This really is the hub of the garden, isn't it, Charles? This is your main composting setup. It's quite formidable. And you've got a freshly filled bay here, or you're filling it. And that prompts me to ask, what's your kind of balance of greens and browns? Like, does it matter? Are you totally religious about it, or do you kind of...
No, you can't be.
Yeah.
It's not possible. So all one could say is give indications what you're aiming for. And what you had in your hand there is actually pretty much a nice balance, because you've got fresh green leaves. It's where Adam was lawn mowing this morning. So rotary lawnmower, just brilliant, aren't they? It's like a mobile shredder.
Yeah.
And then you've got
woody bits like that.
Got woody bits that are not too big and in short lengths. You know, that you could make a compost heap with just that, I reckon.
Yeah.
But then, 3/4 green, 1/4 brown. You have to just balance it all the time.
And in the height of summer, when there's lots of fleshy stuff coming off the garden, it's very high green content. And we should probably define actually green. So greens are materials that are generally fresher, but they're higher in nitrogen. So you get things like coffee grounds that are brown but have high nitrogen. Yeah. And then browns are things that are relatively high in carbon, so they tend to be woodier materials. So, in the height of summer, lots of green stuff coming off. How do you balance that with the browns? You've got your wood chips there, we just saw.
Stockpile of browns in the winter, and if you're lucky enough to have trees in your garden, you know, make a pile of tree leaves to use next summer in your compost making, for example.
And some people are a bit precious about using cardboard, but if you take off all the staples and tape, is that good enough for you?
Yeah, I don't want to use too much, because I agree it's a recycled material, you don't know what's in there quite, but I'll certainly use we have waste cardboard here from book boxes and things. I'm happy to use that. I'm not going out looking for loads. No. Any paper is good, scrumpled up paper. Prunings of any kind in short lengths.
Great, okay, fantastic. And I've seen in some of your videos that you're a little bit controversial and that you add weed roots and sort of disease materials. And I get that with sort of things like mildew, but weed roots are things like couch grass and so on. That seems brave.
I don't think it is. To me, it makes common sense. Well, I've always seen it disappear in a compost heap, so I got the evidence there. But we had bindweed roots. We had every kind of weed root except Japanese knotweed. Okay. Just literally, have no fear is what I keep saying. Yeah. Because the more you add of that, the more green material you've got, the more it's going to decompose quite quickly.
Yeah. And so here, with these kind of quite good volumes, you're getting that heat, aren't you? That arguably kills off a lot of like weed roots and also weed seeds. But as someone with a more modest heap, say like the Dalek ones we saw just there.
No, we put the same in there.
Really, yeah.
All of them take all this controversial, if you like, material, and it all disappears.
Brilliant.
You know, the only time that say a bindweed root could carry on growing is if you give it light. But in a compost heap, you're continually smothering it with new material. And that's like continual mulching.
I guess it is, isn't it? Like being in the garden and just putting more mulch to make it weaken it off. Yeah.
And it's detached from the main root, so it's only got so much goodness in it that it can afford to keep growing. Then it just dies.
That's very reassuring.
Good.
Great. I've sent Charles off to grab us some leaves here, tomato blights on these leaves. Look at that. And you would add this to the compost heap?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because blight spores cannot survive in soil and compost. That's a fact. You can look it up. I don't know why gardeners get this all the time. I feel there's a lot of misinformation really out there about that you shouldn't do it, because you can. I did a trial once. I composted a load of tomato leaves that were blighted, made that compost, put it on the following May, planted tomatoes, they were fine.
Absolutely interesting. So it comes in off the wind rather than soil-borne, like we're often told.
Yeah, it's not in soil.
Are there any diseases like onion white rot, for example, that you wouldn't compost? Are there any exceptions?
Yeah, I mean, onion white rot and clubroot, they are more enduring soil diseases. I would here, and that's the only time I would look to have a hot heap.
Okay.
Not for bindweed roots or anything, but something like that,
Something that gets really hot. And on that topic of temperature, what's the ideal temperature to get really fast compost, and how would you achieve that? I mean, I guess making a heap all at once and having a big volume, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. So, the two things. Assembling a reasonable amount quite quickly. And for me, the ideal temperature would be 55 to 65.
Okay.
And we sometimes go up to 70 or even a little bit higher. It doesn't last for long, but
could run your hot water off that pipe through, couldn't you?
Yeah, that would be taking the heat out.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
But if you hold 70 or 75 for too long, that can. from what I heard, it still makes nice compost, but it's a bit blacker.
Okay.
It's not quite
almost
so
like it's
micro-rich.
burnt it slightly.
Yeah, slightly.
Almost. Yeah.
And like green waste compost, they make it up to 80.
Yeah.
And it's like charcoal almost, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Slightly
find
dead.
it can be a bit sort of, like you say, a bit dead. It just doesn't have that life.
And hygroscopic as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not that. It's so rich.
And I see you've got a thermometer here. Can we go and have a look at that?
Yeah.
And just sort of talk us through the different temperatures. 65 Celsius, I'll put what it is in Fahrenheit on screen. That's nice and warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It is actually really good.
Yeah.
Nothing's gone in there for 3 days. We finished this on Friday, now it's Monday. So I just keep it, it's just how I keep a record really. I find it'll keep at that temperature for 10 days or so.
And do you just kind of keep that in all the time, and once it's capped and just sort of just check how it's going? It's
just
like,
curious, because actually what we're going to do eventually is turn this one into there.
Okay, right.
But wait until it's gone down to 30.
Yeah. I love the system you got here where you it reminds me of when you're a kid and you put the line and how tall they are and watch them growing, and you've got
Brilliant.
this here each year, haven't you? Like, so you can see
I mean, you
what
can see
stage
last year we started almost the same time, both years, middle of August, and finished at about the same time as well, the third week, fourth week September.
Fine-tuned machine, clearly, Charles. Yeah, and so you've got this sort of hole in the middle there.
Yeah,
what's
this.
that? Yeah.
That's just because these heaps are so big. They're 6 foot, 1.8 metres square, and the middle can go a bit anaerobic and smelly. So I found that keeping this in while we're building it, just for those 6 weeks, and then to take it out, and then you see all the steam.
A column of air. So like
Exactly.
Oh, that's brilliant. What a great idea.
It's just a small thing.
Yeah.
But I don't do that on my other smaller heaps. I don't want everyone to think you have to.
And I see you've got the auger here. Are we allowed to have a little look and see how it's getting on?
Let's do that.
Oh wow, you've got all this kind
at
of fungal mycelial growth here. That's
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the little bit of woody layer on top, and below that is some fairly recent grass mowing. There's quite a lot of green in here.
Okay.
Bulk, and that's why it gets hot. And there's enough volume because it's such a big heap.
Yeah.
That it holds the heat.
Oh, do you want to?
Go on.
Gosh. Grunting away. There we are. Oh wow! Look at that. Look at that.
Well, that's pretty much, you can see what's gone in there.
Yeah, yes.
Quite a bit of stalky stuff. You know, the value of the wood is, it's not only that it's carbon, but it's holding structure.
Yes,
in the heap, holding air.
say it keep a good structure, isn't it? Yeah.
And that's why, you know, these are solid sides, and it's often said you should have slatted sides. I found that solid sides work better. The air is in there thanks to the wood and how you build it.
Right.
And then you don't want air blowing in, because that's going to cool it down and dry it out.
Right.
You like that?
Yeah.
It's a little bit smelly, isn't it, at the moment? You know, it's quite
dense. It's got that sort of, I don't know what it is, but that smell. It's not unpleasant though.
No, I agree. It's a decent, honest smell.
Honest smell, honest the word, yeah. This feels more like familiar territory, Charles. Nice compost pallet set up here. Are you not using the whole pallet here though, are you? You're using just the front of it, by the way.
Yeah, we knock off the bottoms because it means you can get closer.
A bit closer.
They're lighter to handle. You don't need that bottom. Actually, I've got a log burner. I burn it on that. Okay. I've got a magnet. You can pull the nails out of it then.
Oh, that's a good idea. I love that. And it's so simple. It's just plonked on and then tied with, 2 places with wire there. That's great.
2 wires on each corner, 4 pallets. You've got it. It's no post in the ground.
Great. And this you're lining with a bit of cardboard, bit of insulation. That's the thing.
Yeah, keeps the warmth in, keeps the air light out if you know anything to try to regrow near the edge.
Yeah. They've got a really colourful set of ingredients.
Isn't it amazing?
Beautiful chard leaves.
Things that looks like you could eat. Yeah, because I'm selling stuff, we have to grade out the imperfections.
Okay, yeah.
And then we've got things like chicory leaves, the outer ones.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful time of year to be playing around in composting, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Sort of well, there's a lot of the waste material for me is coming off the garden. You know, we've got a lot of waste leaves. And here you can see the temperature's not so high.
Yeah. So that's 50 Celsius.
Yeah,
there,
50. 50, 55 is as high as these go.
Yeah.
But you know what? I find these make, if anything, slightly better compost than those big ones.
Yeah. Do you think it's like when you got like vines growing on the grapes growing on the vine, and they take a little longer to mature on those sort of edge areas where it's a little bit cooler, and it just imparts more flavour into the grape? I think it's a bit like that. You're getting it slightly slower, so it's just...
and it bears up what I'm always saying with compost making, there's no rush. And you know, you see people say, "Oh, I made it in 18 days."
Yes,
Oh,
I know.
God.
It's a bit of a sort of showmanship.
It's a lot of work as well.
Yeah. So Charles, do you kind of like add handfuls of either mature compost or garden soil to kind of inoculate and get things going, or do you not bother?
I've heard it said that. It's another job I don't see necessary, actually. But having some soil, there's certainly nothing wrong with having some soil. And if you've got a lot of weeds with soil on the roots, that's pretty much a perfect mix of green and brown.
So don't be too fastidious about shaking off the soil.
Well, I still would, because you don't want too much soil.
Yeah,
I mean, like you were saying earlier, it's a kind of inert material. It's not really high carbon or anything.
Okay.
But a bit of soil, I think, does help make nice composting.
Great. And this is open currently. It's a lovely sunny day, but do you cover it once it's filled? That's the idea. While you're filling it, it can be open, and that's fine.
It's too much work to take cover off. But once it's full, I don't want it getting soggy from rain, so we slide the corrugated iron there in this case, and that opens up the far one, which is the next one we fill.
Gotcha. Oh, that's a nice system. And if you're like a gardener that's not producing loads of material, just slowly adding it over sort of many months, would you still keep it covered over like the winter months, for example? Or I know that the nutrients won't get washed out, but is it just about so it doesn't get too soggy? I guess that's a judgment call you have to make.
Yeah, I find though on the whole that when a heap is under construction, so to speak, the sogginess doesn't hang around, but it's still quite open.
Okay.
It's more once it's starting to mature and settle a bit.
Slump down, that's what it could be.
I mean, I measured the temperature of this heap as it happens, but in the previous fill, in February this year, I couldn't believe it, it was 3 degrees.
Oh, really?
So it's just, you don't, so to your viewers really, you know, don't worry if it's not hot
in
the winter.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
That is,
So yeah, Ben, these are 5 years old and they're starting to show it a bit, but still okay, but I'll need to replace them sooner or later.
And I guess that's reassuring because you know they're not treated too thoroughly. They're sort of, So
it's that HT.
HT, I was going to say, you look for the pallet stamp, don't you?
Yeah.
And you've got to look for HT, which is heat treated.
treated,
I don't use MB, is it, for methyl bromide or something, which
Avoid
is
them.
avoid them. But I don't know if I've never seen pallets with anything but HT, but
yeah, maybe
good thing
more
to bear
common.
in
I've seen
mind
them
though,
in the
isn't
past.
it? Just in case, yeah.
So this is mature, maybe not quite ready to use, although that's a moving goalpost always.
It's like unwrapping a present. It's quite exciting to see what we're going to get. Look at all those worms, wow, and there's a lovely little toad here, look. See him there, don't want to disturb him, we'll leave him be.
So this middle bay receives the contents of both of the outer bays in turn. So before that one was being filled, it had mature compost in, or 2-month-old, and we put it in here and it's at the bottom. And then recently, what was in there went on top. So it's 2 in 1 and maturing. Well, I mean, worms and toads and everything.
So much going on here, isn't there?
In fact, if I just dig out a nice little handful.
That's a nice little red rib in there. That's a stunning.
I mean, it also feels so soft, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. It feels like you could stuff pillowcases with this and sleep quite soundly.
Yeah. But there are also, and I was pleased to see this bits of wood, not quite as big as that maybe, but there's enough wood in here to hold some air, like I was saying. And that, you know, you can use compost like this. Because people often say, when is it ready? And I say, when you need to use it really. Because I would use it at this stage, but if it sits here, the worms are going to turn it into something even nicer.
So would you add this kind of slightly rougher stuff, maybe kind of in the autumn, winter, sort of,
that's when it's
got
ideal.
a couple of months to kind of do its thing before you plant into it.
Frost breaks it down, nutrients don't leach out over winter, and it's soft and beautiful for spring.
It's lovely, yeah. That's how you get such good looking beds, Charles, with this kind of stuff. Yeah. Charles, here's yet another example of composting. We've looked at the pallet compost bins, your bays, the Dalek bins, and now this, your wormery.
Yeah.
Can we have a little look?
Yeah, right.
There they all are, look at them. Wow.
Actually, you don't often see that many near the surface. Oh, there's quite a few over there as well.
Yeah, look at that. And so,
it's where it's moist.
essentially this is another composting setup. It's low and it's full of worms. So how have you tweaked the environment for the worms? Are they eating the same stuff that's going in there, or is it
pretty much? Well, not so much wood.
Not so much wood.
Less, because they don't really eat that. Small pieces of anything. So finer, half-rotted material is ideal. And if you happen to have animal manure of some kind, they like that.
Okay, yeah.
And not so much that it gets hot, so it never gets warm here.
Okay,
Yeah.
and And when you're setting this up, did you add worms just to get it going, or they'd find their own way in eventually?
I'm ashamed to say I bought some worms.
That's all right.
I don't think I really needed to. What I found out since then is, you know, at the time I didn't know a huge amount about it, and I wasn't sure if the worms that these people sell are bigger and hungrier, but I don't think they are.
Yeah, yeah.
So use your own worms. Most of us can find worms in the garden.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah. And so when you're starting it, do you just add the normal material on, or is there a sort of a bed of something like a bedding for them, some sort of cushion like?
Yeah, no, just cardboard.
Cardboard, yeah.
Because this was a mass of weeds when I began.
Okay.
That was 4 years ago. And you see the bindweed has survived.
Still there, trying every now and then to...
Yeah, that can go on the main compost.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't mind it, because when we come, we're going to sieve this out to put in potting mix.
Okay.
That's why I'm doing it. It's not for spreading on beds.
Right, I'm going to say, so this is kind of even stronger stuff. This is sort of finest champagne of the compost.
Oh, sure.
And so this is purely used for potting mixes to give it a bit of oomph. Yeah. Lovely.
Sieved and
And how often do you feed them? How often do you add fresh material?
Well, ideally it would be, I found, once a week.
Okay.
And maybe about that much, about an inch or so. But we sometimes don't get around to it. It's just another job in the end.
Yes.
But these are like pets.
Yeah.
And so the more you look after them, the better they are. The thing I've neglected this year is watering the edge enough.
Okay.
Drying, they don't like that.
And so to get the vermicompost, you just scrape off the top layer where all the worms are and just dig it all out. And
we'll put that over there, and that's next year's heap. Great. And then we can scoop out all the goodies.
Let's see. Oh, it's great to be able to answer the call of nature, Charles, and actually still contribute to the garden, which is what this is about, your composting loo.
It's what I keep saying, all contributions gratefully received.
Yeah, absolutely. You might as well make use of it. So where does this get used, and like, do you have separate...
Well, exactly. This is the urine side, so if you just want to pee, and that's a bed of hay that we cut back in June.
Okay.
And you can see in the middle there it's wet.
Okay.
So actually about 3 weeks now, and we'll scoop out the wet stuff and put it on just the compost heap.
Because it's just, clean wee. Fantastic, yeah. I'm very lucky in that I've got a fairly enclosed garden, so I can just go directly onto my compost heap and just find it quite liberating, really. It's a lovely feeling.
It's your connection. Another connection.
Another connection, yeah.
So that's the easy bit, you could say.
Yes.
But having said that, the other side, the solids, it's no extra work really. It's just leaving it for longer.
And how long do you let it mature for? Because it's
a whole year after.
A whole year, just to be safe.
But it's all aerobic, just like that. It's nothing's in a plastic sealed container.
It's not going to get foul and stinky. It's sort of quite clean stuff.
When we actually empty the contents of the solids, it's sweet.
Yeah.
There's no
and so you do your business, and you put a handful of wood chips to keep the scent down and to give the carbon.
And to give the carbon.
The nitrogen.
Yeah, because the poo's nitrogen, so it's perfect balance.
Excellent.
A bit of small wood, sawdust or wood shavings.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm doing a trial to compare green waste with mushroom compost there.
Okay.
Toilet compost there.
Wow.
This mustard's only been in the ground 3 weeks, so you can't really compare it in a way. But what's happened already is so fascinating, because in these beds I've grown turnips already.
Okay.
Followed by squash.
Right.
Two crops this year. And the turnips was roughly 17 kilos there.
Okay.
19 there, including the greens.
Wow.
And the squash was 26 kilos of crown print squash.
Okay.
There.
Respectable.
Yeah, already really good. 53.
What? That's literally twice as much. That's incredible.
It's because the plants had so much vigour. You could say it's a bit misleading. It meant that they trailed more vigorously.
Okay.
And the others trailed, but they didn't really produce much on the trails.
Okay.
You know how squash can do that.
Yeah.
And we just got that huge harvest.
That's incredible. And so, it is a bit lighter, isn't it? Yeah.
What do you reckon? It's pleasant. It's woody, isn't it?
It is woody. Absolutely. Yeah, I guess all the
brown
sawdust and that.
Yeah.
Smells fine. I don't know what I was expecting. It's quite pleasant, isn't it? Yeah.
There's no reason it
fascinating,
shouldn't be, really, is there?
Because it's often recommended, isn't it, to sort of apply it on non-edible things, or
that's
at
what
the base of like gooseberries or whatever. So you're not eating in direct contact, but you've kind of got a bit more chilled out and just gone for it.
I mean, having studied it all, and this whole thing about how we're now realising how important microbes are for our gut.
Indeed. Yeah.
And there's no reason they should be pathogenic.
Good point. You can get sort of like little capsules with other people's sort of poo in, can't you, to sort of kickstart your own gut flora apparently. So it's kind of, you know, on the same vein, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But healthy. You know, I wouldn't. I'm not actually using it to grow lettuce yet.
No. Easing yourself in, yeah. So this is mature compost you've just, there's a snail shell there. There's mature compost that you just dug out from the bay there. How old is this then?
It's not much more than 4 months on average.
Really?
4 or 5 months.
Wow.
That's incredible. It's clearly not fully mature, whatever that word means, but there's bits of wood in that. But I'm very happy actually to spread it when it's still a bit undecomposed. Yeah. Because you could look at it, the way I see it is it's food for microbes in the soil. Absolutely. As well as the composting process carries on, and putting it in this case here under these Brussels, it's not for them. I'm putting it on. It's for feeding the soil.
I love that. I love the fact you're feeding the soil, not the plants. And the plants obviously benefit eventually, but that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very slow acting. You could
so
say.
when do you normally? It's a bit early now, isn't it, for you normally? But you're doing this very kindly for the video. But when would you normally spread most of your compost?
This we normally do in December because we've got more time. And I like to get it done before Christmas, and it's job done for the year ahead.
You can put your feet up and have some more cherries. Why not?
Yeah.
Great. So let's get it on.
You know, it's like I say, the nutrients don't leach out of it. It's feeding the soil life.
Yeah. Because that's something you hear a lot, isn't it? The compost, the nutrients will get leached out with rain, but that's just bunkum, isn't it?
Well, it is, and I feel there's too much emphasis on the whole nutrient side of it. Because compost is not. It is a bit about nutrients, but I think more than anything it's about the life. Okay, yeah. And that's what we're working to build.
Like life food, and there's actually quite a lot of nutrients just in the actual soil itself. Already, yeah. So it's making it more bioavailable, I guess, to the roots.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, so we just spread that out. There's no need to be perfect about it this time, because when these sprouts finish, we'll just twist them out, and then this could be, say, beetroot.
It's nice that you're adding. You can add compost at any stage, even when plants are actively growing, as long as the space there. And you're aiming for what? Just under an inch ideally, so like 2 centimetres, 3.
It always looks more when you put it on, then you look a week later and it's gone down.
Settled down, yeah.
But this bed, to give you an example, already grew carrots this year before the Brussels.
Wow, yeah.
And that was from compost put on last December. And people say you shouldn't put on compost before carrots because it's all leaf and no root. It's not true, because compost isn't like that. It's not fertiliser. And getting 2 crops from the same addition of compost, which is like really efficient, isn't it? Yeah. I love it.
So the lion's share of your compost is getting used on the beds, of course.
Yeah.
But you use quite a lot of it for your own potting mixes and seed starting mixes and so on. Is that right?
About 50%.
50%. That's great. That must be quite a good cost saving, given how much it all is nowadays.
You know what? I don't think of it like that though. I mean, it's a fair point, but it's more about taking it to a level where things not only grow, but they.
And
that adds so much value to everything you do in the garden.
So how wide is the screen here? That looks like 7 mils or
of that
order, an inch or something.
They're not round, are they? So
no.
Between 5 and 7, I would say.
Great.
Well, let's see what happens.
There you go. It's already.
Yeah, that's pretty fine. There's still quite a bit of wood, isn't there?
There is, what's
there. But you know, I've had amazing result with using 3-year-old sieved wood in a potting mix.
Oh really? Right.
And it's gone beyond the stage of taking nitrogen.
Just kind of good wholesome compost.
Good.
Yeah. Great. So how would you use this? Would you mix a bit of, like, if you're like using a seed starting mix, a bit of vermiculite, for example, or is it kind of how would you adapt it?
Could I quite like, we've got quite a bit of old wood chip now. Mix a bit of that with it.
Yep.
Oh, we're going that way almost ourselves. So basically, not to decompose for seed or starter, because then that holds more air.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about having too many nutrients. That's not a factor. And then, you could use this pure on its own, but I make it go further by buying a bit of what I know to be reasonable potting mix and 50-50.
Yeah, great. Just sort of eke it out a bit further.
Yeah.
Oh, I just can't stop myself sniffing this lovely compost, Charles. It's such beautiful stuff. Thank you so much for demystifying the composting process and actually expelling a lot of myths and making it very accessible. That's what you've done, and it's a joy.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed from when I started out, it sounded complicated. And all this 32 parts nitrogen to 1 part carbon, I don't always know the way around.
Get a bit scientific, can't it?
Yeah, and let's keep it simple and understandable, and then everyone can do it. That's my aim.
Well, it's been rotten luck being here today in the best possible way. So thank you so much, Charles. And if you want to see around more of Charles's garden, then do check out this video next. It's such an inspirational space here. I'll catch you next time.